This week on the podcast, we discover that building the perfect woman is not as easy as building the perfect lawnmower.
What? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Brett Hayes.
And I am Steven with a PH, and we are back for another episode of Horror and the Hater. And boy, this one was a doozy. Brett, what did you make me watch?
So he's being dramatic. It was really good, and we're gonna hear all the great things about this movie. The movie being 1990s classic. Oh, there's no build up. It's Frankenhooker. We watched Frankenhooker.
Yeah.
In the horror space, I mean, I think plenty of people have seen Frankenhooker. It was it was released by the Trauma team, but it's not a Trauma film, so, but it's as close as you can get without getting your eyes wet.
Somebody get these. What is up with these categories? I can't figure out what is what within these movies.
Oh, so Trauma films, it's really just the release team. We kind of talked about it a little bit with Street Trash 87, and it's just kind of like a vile, it's exploitation, a no holds barred. You're going to put whatever you want in there, and every character is subject to be brutalized. So this movie isn't quite there, but it's just kind of one of those fun facts, because you'll see like the Trauma team at the beginning, produced by or whatever, not produced by, but released by, and you'll be like, whoa, this is a Trauma film? It's not. So, and it's really, I mean, it's a softcore, but it's not.
Pretty much.
It's not that bad, right?
No, I mean, it's mainly just like there's like a 10-minute stretch where it's mostly softcore. And then we go back to just regular, horror movie boob ratio.
True. So this one was directed by Frank Henenlotter. If that name seems familiar to you, it's because he is the director and writer of the Basket Case franchise. So Basket Case 1, 2, and 3. Steven, do you know what Basket Case is? Have you heard of it?
No.
It's wild. He'll watch it. It's really gross, but it's a good time.
Okay.
It's a really good time.
I'll trust you, even though it hasn't worked out too well.
My notable actor, look, guys, I did struggle like picking names for notables and honorable mentions, but alas, we did it. Notable actor is going to go to Patty Mullen as the title character, Frankenhooker. I thought she was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and before she gets turned into Frankenhooker, I can't remember her actual character's name.
Elizabeth.
She makes a comment where she's like, oh yeah, I had him staple my stomach. And her friend's like, what? You had him staple your stomach? Is he even a real doctor?
It's like, no, but he's been kicked out of 3 med schools.
No, but we're gonna be married. And I'm like, oh, I mean, that's pretty good.
Obviously, I trust him.
So yeah, I liked that line. That was a good one. And my honorable mention is to James Lawrence as Jeffrey Franken. He's the guy moving the story along. I don't have a ton to really great to say about Jeffrey Franken, but I mostly picked him out because
there a lot.
Do you remember? Does his face like ring any bells to you?
I kept thinking that he was kind of like familiar looking, but like I couldn't really place it.
Surprise, surprise. He was the doorman in Street Trash 1987. So there you go.
All right. Welcome back, buddy. My notable actor for this one, I am going to give it to Joseph Gonzalez, who played Zorro. And my least favorite character out of this whole thing was Louise Lasser as Jeffrey's mom. Jeffrey's mom was insane. And nothing she did made sense as a mother. So,
good. I can make the potato salad here.
Yeah, it's just like that was wild. It's like your son is pouring his heart out to you, and you're like, you need a sandwich, don't you? And you need a potato salad, the worst of all the sandwiches. Uh, what are you doing, lady? I don't get her.
Her best. Um, yeah, so we had a budget of $2.4 million. You know what? I normally wouldn't, so that should give you like an idea of how much the movie maybe would have made. But what do you think the box office for this movie was? I will tell you, it got a limited release.
I kind of figured it did. So we're gonna say let's go with the mill.
Very generous.
I
Two
was
hundred and ten thousand dollars.
I was afraid of that.
It opened in the backyard, premiered in Houston, Texas.
In like someone's just actual backyard.
No, because that's a lot of money for somebody's backyard. 210,000.
Yeah.
I will let you open up whatever movie you want in the back of my yard
I mean, you don't know how long it ran.
if I get a cut of that. Not long. I did learn, however, that it had a really cool VHS. So there's like I have Shutter, and on Shutter they have this thing. It's called Into the Darkness, and the first one is it the first one? Anyway, it's from 1990 to 1994. They do cover Frankenhooker a little bit in there, and it had this VHS that had a button on it, and if you clicked it, it was Patty Mullins' Frankenhooker saying, "Want a date?" So, and apparently there was a lot of people that were not into that. They hated it and found it really annoying. I think that's awesome, but what can you do?
I didn't even know you could put Easter eggs like that into a VHS. So
It's awesome.
that's
So
incredible.
IMDb, I think this is gonna get you a little bit. IMDb is 6.2 out of 10.
What?
Rotten Tomatoes audience score has it at a 59%, and
At first,
Letterboxd a 3.4 out of 5.
oof.
Guys, so this movie, it's we have a failed medical professional, right? He's been to med school, but he keeps flunking out. They said 3 times.
3 times.
Three
He's been
times.
not flunked out, kicked out.
But you know immediately that he is a genius. I mean, he's got a brain with an eyeball in some vat of stuff that he is giving life to. So, obviously, his last name is Franken. Little nod there. We don't need to go over that, but uh, he gifts his father or soon-to-be father-in-law a lawnmower, and his fiance is like showing it off, and everybody's like, "Oh, Jeffrey, you're so brilliant," blah blah blah. But he turns it on, and she doesn't know that the signal is going straight to where she is. So this lawnmower starts off, and this lawnmower's it's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Comes after her, chops her down, and the rest of the movie is spent on him with this moral dilemma of I can't live without her. I'm gonna rebuild this woman that I love. But you know what? Since I couldn't get all of her parts, we'll rebuild her with only the best of the prostitutes around where I live. That's the movie. Steven, you want to walk us through this?
Yeah, it's about a man trying to put the pieces of his life and his fiance back together again. So we start with a young man named Jeffrey giving a field sobriety test to an eyeball that is attached to a brain floating in a vat of liquid. He's like, follow the hand. Come on, let's do this. He's poking it. He's prodding it, trying to get it to do different things. And all of this is happening in the kitchen while outside there is a birthday party going on. And no one seems to be alarmed by what's happening inside. My first question was, where the hell did you get that brain, bro? I'm kind of curious. And also, why does no one have questions about where you got that brain, bro?
Oh, it's just Jeffrey.
It's just Jeffrey. So his fiance Elizabeth is talking outside with his mom, and everybody thinks Elizabeth is fat. She's just a big, super fatty boom batty, just eating, scarfing down pretzels. She can't find a diet that's right for her. She's tried it all. She's tried everything, but she just keeps ballooning up, which she's not in bad shape, y'all.
No.
Like she's kind of hot.
Yeah, it's just a smoke show.
Yeah. So I don't know what the big deal is with that, but everybody is very concerned about her being just super fat. So she even let Jeffrey, yeah, this is where we come back to Jeffrey operating on her, stapling her stomach to try to fix it. And it's okay because yeah, he's got medical experience. He's been kicked out of 3 medical schools, and she's going to marry this man. So obviously she trusts him
Right.
enough to do surgery on her. So it's time for the gifts at this party, and Elizabeth is very excited to show her and Jeffrey's gift to Dad. And it's a super fancy lawnmower that Jeffrey has used his engineering skills to modify to be remote controlled. And then Elizabeth proceeds to stand directly in front of this lawnmower and start said lawnmower and show you how you can move it forward, and moves it forward into herself, sending the pieces of her body flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we then watch the opening credits where Jeffrey mumbles to himself as he sketches out blueprints for the perfect woman. We hear a lot of weird jargon and a lot of planning and sketching and just making sure everything is just right. So he pops in a videotape then and watches the newscast that reported on his fiance's death. And we proceed to hear the most outrageous field reporter in the world. And this is where I really had hope for the movie, because I want to read you guys the news report that was delivered on the local news. So a reporter comes on and says, "What began as a barbecue turned into a bizarre tragedy in New Jersey today. It was this that brought the quick end to the life of a 21-year-old bride-to-be, Elizabeth Shelley. Like wood through a mulcher, the Gertha Alfiance disappeared beneath the blades of the berserk mower that sent her personality raining down upon the horrified birthday revelers. A blaze of blood, bones, and body parts, the vivacious young girl was instantly reduced to a tossed human salad. A salad that police are still trying to gather up. A salad that was named Elizabeth."
It's so good, man. I love that part of the movie. It is amazing.
I was laughing so hard, and I was really excited because I was like, all right, we got a comedy horror movie. And unfortunately, this was the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah.
And it happened 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
So it's all downhill from here, guys.
Oh.
So Jeffrey's mom comes in to see how he's doing and sees that he's watching the video again. And she wants him to start getting back out there. He's got to get over Elizabeth. He's got to move on. There's a girl at the grocery store that's been asking about him, you know? Jeffrey, on the other hand, he has other plans. He says he's actually working on a woman right now. So mom need not worry. His mom is also not creeped out at all by the blueprint of a woman laying across the table with a picture of Elizabeth just taped to the face, and then a brain with the eyeball that's just floating in a fish tank. It's like
she loves that thing, dude.
She does. She goes and talks to the brain. She's like, "Gucci, Gucci, goo, what you doing?" Yeah, she's just like, it's like a goldfish to her. And once again, this is why she is just the most insane character. So she leaves, and he sets out on a midnight mission. He returns to his laboratory, sneaking in some kind of power conductor thing, and then goes to the deep freeze and opens it up to reveal a bubbling pink liquid inside. He starts talking to whatever is in there and pulls it out. It's Elizabeth's head. The body parts that the police couldn't recover out of that salad, they are in that deep freeze. Would you think they would have checked? I feel like the cops should have checked the property. I don't know.
I mean, they got most of it, right? The guy said it was hard to tell.
Most of it. Yeah, you know. It's like a
It was
smoothie of a person.
a human salad.
Yeah, a salad. It was named Elizabeth.
Mm.
So we then cut to them having a beautiful candlelit dinner with Elizabeth's head sitting across the table. He's giving her some wine that's just falling out of her neck. He's sharing some pizza with her, and he begins to tell her his plan. Actually, he wants to show her.
Mm-hmm.
And he then pulls up a picture of Elizabeth's head crudely pasted onto the body of some Playboy model with her jugs out.
Sure.
Actually, he's got several different options of photos of her head pasted onto naked women.
Yeah.
So he lets her know, we can build you into the perfect woman.
Oh,
make her into anything she wants.
Little fun fact. A lot of the women in this movie were playmates or in other magazines and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we did have a couple like centerfolds in here.
Nice.
So
this wasn't their boob debut. So
okay. The boob debut. Okay. All right.
So he's also written her a poem. It's a very bad poem.
It's a terrible poem.
He's really good at engineering, seems to have a penchant for the medical stuff, even if it is a little bit twisted. Writing skills are not that good. Very basic rhyming structure.
We could say the writing skills are very well because of the end of the movie, but his he can't write poetry.
No. So he puts Elizabeth's body parts back into their goo, and he goes back to stressing over the blueprints, and he's dealing with the moral repercussions of having to kill someone to bring her back. He's really struggling with this. He then turns on the weather report, and the meteorologist says that it is going to be perfect conditions for some mad scientist experiment type stuff. So he knows that he has got to get to work quick. He then starts drilling into his brain to give himself ideas on how to find a woman to be Elizabeth's body. First idea doesn't make any sense. So drills in again for round 2 of the brainstorming session. He's got it this time, though. He needs female body parts, so he's going to go to the place where women sell their body. The streets. So he drives into Manhattan, across the bridge from Jersey, and starts scouting for hookers. Finally finds the right neighborhood with his kind of ladies that are going to be his replacements for Elizabeth. So he starts talking to one of the hookers, and he tells her that he needs a couple women with good parts. So she pops out her tits and shows off her parts to see if they're good enough. He flashes some money, and she is super eager to get into the car.
Oh, yeah.
But he says, no. We need a few more girls. So she immediately recruits Amber. It took 2 seconds. He tells them that he wants to throw a party for his sick brother, and he needs 6 to 7 girls that he wants to have kind of like a little beauty pageant. And the winner is going to get made into a new woman. So before he can get that many women, he's got to clear it with Zorro. All right. And no, Antonio Banderas is not in this movie. And I was only mildly disappointed. They take him into this dirty bar / strip club thing to meet Zorro. Take him back into the back room bathroom, where Zorro apparently just holds court in this bathroom. There's like a threesome happening in one of his tunnels. Yeah. I mean, it is a public bathroom. But yeah, there's like people having threesomes in the stalls and all kinds of little Zorro minions and hookers running around. So Hooker goes up to Zorro, and she's branded with a Z, you can see. So you know that she's one of Zorro's bitches. And Zorro tells Jeffrey that his girls are the best, but they are expensive. So they go to talk business, and Jeffrey asks about all the drugs that he's been giving out to all these hookers. Sees, what's up with that? So back in the lab, Jeffrey watches a newscast on legalized prostitution, and it's some advocate on like a talk show talking why prostitution needs to be legalized so it's not as dangerous for these women. And Jeffrey's like, you know what? She's damn right. Yeah, it is so dangerous for these women. Any crazy psychopath can just go out there and murder a bunch of hookers at will. It's crazy that someone would do that. So he is in his lab trying to work on something he affectionately refers to as super crack. It's a better version of crack
Right.
than the crack that Zorro was giving out. So he he's watching TV, he's hallucinating, seeing Elizabeth. The time is coming. He has got to work fast. So he goes back to the drill, into the skull technique, gets his mind right. And that drill in the skull just lets him know, hey, I am not the one that's killing these hookers. I'm just going to leave the drugs out, and the hookers are going to do the drugs. So it's not
Right.
me killing them.
Mm.
I'm just it's like how the CIA, just kind of justifies the crack trade.
Here we go.
But I got a new hat this week, guys.
Oh my God.
So he's making his super crack and he needs a guinea pig. So he decides to use a guinea pig. Starts pumping crack air into this cage with a little guinea pig, and then all of a sudden this guinea pig spontaneously just combusts into a bunch of random little pieces. And so he knows that his formula has worked. He's got a super crack ready to go. So Jeffrey's back on the street, meets up with his hooker, and is getting to the rendezvous point. They got the girls together. They go into the room. Everybody is assembled, and we have a little lineup of all the random stripper names and random amounts of boob showing.
Stripper montage.
Little stripper montage for you. So he inspects all the women and takes measurements of them. He's measuring their legs and finding the one with the perfect ass, the perfect pokeable nipple, etc., etc. He's a man of science, and so he's cataloging everything that he's finding. Finally, it's coming down to where he has to pick one of them. The rest of these girls got to get back out to the streets. Okay, Zorro is not gonna give them up for the whole night, so they got to get going. So he's deciding he can't really go through with it, but he can't pick any of them. They all have different aspects about them that he loves, and so they start demanding money, and he decides to just give them what they want. So he throws a briefcase of money at them, and inside that briefcase is also a bag of super crack.
Super crack.
These hookers get so pumped about this crack. Like, oh my gosh, they are like ravenous wolves ripping apart a dead carcass, trying to get into the Ziploc bag of crack. So they start smoking it and snorting it and everything. Tits are coming out. Girls are starting to make out. Jeffrey's not pumped about that. Two girls start to make out, and he is like, that is not natural at all. So despite all of his protestations, they are not stopping the party. Drugs have just made this party really pop off.
Mm-hmm.
So now downstairs, Zorro, he's getting really impatient. And so he goes to run upstairs and check on what's happening. Now upstairs, the party continues, but one of the girls is starting to feel a little bit funny. Something in her stomach is not right. And then all of a sudden, she explodes. And that kind of kills the vibes at the party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they just all spontaneously turn into mannequins and then blow up. It's a really weird thing that happens in this movie.
You didn't like it?
I don't know how the super crack did it, but the super crack turned them into mannequins and then exploded. It was just, I mean, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was so bad that it was funny.
Yeah.
But so we get a bunch of exploding hookers. Zorro tries to break down the door to see what is happening. But right as he opens the door, one of the hookers explodes, and her head bashes into him and knocks him out conveniently. So the room is now just littered with random body parts. And Jeffrey is over here trying to apologize to all the women. He's like, don't worry, y'all. I'm going to get you back together. We're going to fix this. Okay, we're gonna put everybody back together, but first I got to get Elizabeth back together. So we'll see what's left over afterwards.
Right.
Starts bagging them up into some trash bags, hauls them back over the river to Jersey, and he arrives back at his house with just like his trunk is open, piled with trash bags. He's tied it down with a rope, and there's just random hands and feet just hanging out of it. I can't imagine he made it all the way from Manhattan to Jersey without someone calling that in. Um, nobody saw that on the bridge. Are you kidding me? He wasn't at a stoplight, and somebody's like, "What's up with the trash bags full of human hands?"
I don't. Here's what I do know. I mean, cell phones weren't really a thing. If you were fortunate enough to have a car phone,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I feel like if you're driving down there and you see a dude with a bunch of hands and limbs sticking out of the back of his car, you don't say nothing to that person.
I mean, New Yorkers do have a very unique ability to just kind of put the blinders on, like
They
not
do.
really pay attention to the man jacking off in the subway staircase. Uh,
Oh my god.
so he makes it back to the house, back at the lab. He's sorting through all the body parts, trying to find the perfect pieces, and starts putting Elizabeth back together. He's looking through a platter of different boobs to kind of figure out which of the two that line up. He's got this trash can full of legs and arms and hands and such. And so he is just working diligently to put this puzzle together. Pulls out Elizabeth's head from the deep freeze and tells her that this is the moment they have been waiting for. Dumps all the other body parts into the deep freeze, which is apparently just infinitely deep because he shoves 7 women's bodies
Well,
through the
it's like
parts.
Tetris at that point,
I mean, I guess, but that was just, it seemed like he had like several large trash cans full of legs.
Well, maybe we should find out the brand of that deep freeze, and
I mean, it's
might be the way to go.
might be the way to go. Maytag's not making them like that anymore. I can tell you that much.
No, they're not.
So he dumps all the body parts into the deep freeze to kind of clean up before Elizabeth gets back. And then it's time to do the Frankenstein stuff. So
we don't say that here.
Okay, it's time to do the Frankenhooker stuff. It's time to do our definitely not intellectual property theft scene where we raise up a dead body with a sheet covering it to get struck by lightning.
Now you're understanding it. All right.
Yes.
Here we go.
Also, his hydraulic lift went up like 5 stories in the air. I don't know. That was an insane contraption that he had in there.
The dude has a brain and an eyeball that have been given life. I have put nothing behind Jeffrey Franken.
He's resourceful. That's for sure. So we have a big bolt of lightning that strikes the body, turning the chamber a glowing green color. And as it's working its way down the pole, it shocks Jeffrey, gives him a little love zap. So he lowers the body back down, and the body is now standing on the table. He calls out to Elizabeth and pulls the sheet off her. She's dressed in a purple mini skirt and bra, basically. She has purple hair, and yeah, she's just looking really. She's just tinged with a lot of purple. That's kind of her new vibe now.
Yeah.
So she asks if he's looking for a date, and
Want a
he
date?
tells her he doesn't have any money. She just backhands him, knocking him out, and walks out the door to the streets, returning to her natural home. So Frankenhooker then walks through the streets of New York City. She's in the subway and spots the young boy. She's just trolling for Johns at this point. Jeffrey wakes up and sees that Elizabeth is gone, runs out into the street to search for her. He realizes that she must have the personality of a hooker because she has so many hooker body parts and is also dressed like a hooker. And that she's obviously going back to the streets. So he jumps in his car and races off. She is still trolling the streets. She's out of the subway now, looking for somebody with some money. You have some Asian tourists that try taking pictures of her, and she knocks them out. And finally finds a man that looks like a Great Value brand Danny DeVito, and takes him to a hotel so that they can get it on. He is super pumped about the prospects of getting to bang this lady. She the entire time is just saying lines that we've already heard before from all the hookers in the party room. She's locked in. Their spirits are inhabiting her, and she doesn't even have a mind of her own. So she starts saying that they should play doctor like before, and he starts to get undressed. She pops her bra off and shows off her purple nipples to match the rest of her outfit. Takes off her pants, and this man is mesmerized by what he sees. So she crawls on top of him and starts just grinding on him while he's still mostly clothed. And then she has her hands on him, and suddenly, like electricity just starts shooting through her hands, and his head just pops off in her hands. Yeah. But his disembodied head does say that it was wonderful. So Jeffrey, he's over here stopping random people on the streets of Manhattan, asking if they have seen a tall, attractive purple woman with lots of fresh scars. Once again, we know New Yorkers are very helpful people, but nobody seems to know where this lady is until finally someone points him in the right direction. So also we get one of the funniest lines where he's asking random people if they've seen this woman, and he asks a random Swedish guy, and he doesn't really speak good English. So the guy's like, "What are you, some kind of a Swede? You're talking to me in Swedish in Times Square?"
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere. That was
good. Yeah.
It was the funniest moment since the news report, honestly.
It was.
So Frankenhooker then puts her clothes back on. She finds the money in the exploded man's wallet, walks down the hall, stopped by another guy who is asking her what she thinks about the Mets. And then he tells her that he prefers the indoor sports and just sticks his tongue down her throat. And he's immediately electrocuted, and his head pops off too. His head, though, it goes out a window and into a trash can. So we get some more fun, whimsical.
You don't seem impressed by all this.
It's just, we've had lots of different head popping things. We have the head popping off and knocking out Zorro, and the post-coital head popping, and it's kind of like a praying mantis type thing. And then now we have this one, just the Kobe head pop.
Yeah.
So, comedy comes in threes, y'all. But Frankenhooker is walking down the street and asking if anyone has any money, and finally she gets back to the strip club where Zorro is. Mm-hmm. So Zorro is lamenting to one of his buddies about how all of his girls exploded and how all of his best girls exploded. He doesn't have any girls anymore, guys. He's so broken up about this.
Yeah.
Frankenhooker walks in and sees a bowl of pretzels on the bar, and Elizabeth takes over, immediately starts scarfing down these pretzels. Okay. She's just going to get bloated, y'all. It's not going to do her any favors. The bartender tells her to go easy on the pretzels, and she growls at her pretty aggressively, and then starts repeating all the lines from the group party with Jeffrey again, talking about playing doctor and all this stuff. And Zorro's buddy hears her, and he is smitten. He tries to convince her that he's the guy for her. He can get her out of this. He can protect her. But whenever he touches her, he falls to the ground and gets electrocuted and explodes, much like everyone else. And so Jeffrey is come to the bar, and we have a street preacher talking about how these hookers are going to hell. And so inside, Zorro questions Frankenhooker and gets shocked when he touches her as well. So he proceeds to then just punch her head almost clean off. The stitching was not very good around the neck,
Mm-mm.
and it just flaps back. Luckily, held on by the back stitch. Everybody at this point is a little bit freaked out when this woman's head pops off, so they make a quick exit for
Right.
this part. Jeffrey runs in and sees Elizabeth. He puts her head back on her neck, gets her out of that place, gets her in the car, and drives off. And Zorro sees him and hails for a taxi to follow him. So back at the lab, we have Jeffrey reinforcing Elizabeth's neck sutures with big metal ones, and then we get the classic, not at all copyrighted bolts on the side of the neck. So he blasts some electricity into the bolts, and it doesn't seem to work. But then it does. Elizabeth wakes up and she is talking like normal. She's back. It's actually Elizabeth again. She's so confused about what happened, though. Last thing she remembers, she was at the party with mom and dad and the lawnmower, and he has to tell her that she died, and he brought her back.
Yeah.
So she asks how, and he says, "Oh, like a bunch of things. I have it written down over there." But I can only bring back women, though, because of the weird little chemical that I'm using, and it's super scientific. Okay, like, don't worry, Elizabeth. But Elizabeth is super proud of him. Like, he did such a good job. Way to go! You brought me back. No other guy would have done that for her.
Mm-mm.
But then she notices that, like, these aren't her hands, and these aren't her arms or her legs or her boobs. And so as he tries to explain what happens, Zorro sneaks into the garage and grabs a knife off the table and then just chops Jeff's head off very unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Just one clean stroke, done. And Elizabeth, like, didn't even see him. She was facing directly towards him, didn't even see him, didn't try to warn Jeffrey, nothing. And so
I think she was a little upset still about having different hands, and
I can understand that. She has other things preoccupying her mind. She's not exactly paying attention to the guy sneaking up with a giant knife. So he starts talking to all the hookers that are inside of her, and tells them that they need some of that sweet rock to get them back in the right frame of mind. So suddenly a hand pushes out of the freezer door, and it opens up, and out of this purple goo emerge several globs of tits and legs and arms, and it's like these unholy Cronenberg creatures that just pull him into the freezer, and he's done. So then Elizabeth goes and picks up Jeffrey's head, and suddenly Jeffrey wakes up. She was able to use his notes and all of his blueprints to bring him back to life too.
Hell yeah.
The only problem is, remember how we said the serum kind of only works on, like, female body parts? Yeah, so Jeffrey looks down to see a massive pair of purple tits, and a whole female body that's there. So she's like, "Aren't you proud of me? Now we can be together again." And that's it. That's the movie.
And he was not very proud.
He wasn't very pumped about that. It's okay when he does horrible psychotic experiments, but when a woman wants to do it, now it's a problem.
Yeah, man, look, it's not a good movie, but you know what? I mean, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The reason we did Frankenhooker is there's just been so much that I've seen in media, and watching that Into the Darkness documentary, that I just, like, it all just collided, and I was like, oh yeah, I keep seeing Frankenhooker everywhere. I have seen Frankenhooker before, so let's do it. And there's some things about it that aren't great, but I had a really good time again watching this movie. From the exploding bodies to the kind of odd dialogue that people are using, you do hope that it's going to be funnier, because when that like breaking newscast comes up and it's the salad named Elizabeth,
If they
my
had put the
God.
energy they put into writing that little four
Oh my
sentences
God.
into the
Yeah.
writing for the rest of the show, this would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
And instead, it was just kind of like a mildly funny softcore porn. Um,
Right. Yeah. And look, it's fine. Um, yeah, you want that writing from the newscast. That's gold. It is gold. They could
and
have
the
done that whole
delivery on
thing.
that as well. You know
Oh my
what? We're gonna
goodness.
retro this. She gets my notable actor.
You know what? She is.
Honorable
Yep.
mention, best line in the
Yeah.
entire thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, I know I gave him my honorable mention, and it's mostly because I just wasn't a big fan of most of the characters or most of the actors in this movie, I should say. I like the characters more than I like the actors. Kind of
Mhm.
the same deal that I had with Friday the 13th Part 3. But yeah, man, I just the lead kind of let me down. Um he didn't seem like a lead. He seemed like a doorman on Street Trash 1987.
It's probably a more appropriate place for him.
I thought it was great as a doorman.
Yeah,
So there you go.
he's out kicking his coverage on this one.
Yeah. So yeah, I there's some great things about it. What was I looking at? I know that the effects in this movie are cheap and cheap looking. I like them though. I liked it when all the mannequins were exploding in that room. For nothing other than that, to me, that was like the second funniest part of the movie
Yeah.
was everybody like going crazy about super crack and then just exploding bodies. And you're like, oh my God.
No, and the I will be honest, the horrible editing does just make it funnier.
Way better.
Where you have this very obvious lady that then turns into a mannequin that's roughly the same shape that she was just in, and then just blows up like it's stuffed with M80s. Uh,
Ah.
it's so that was the most fun part of the movie. Honestly, the most entertaining section of the movie is that little section. It's like
Yeah,
that's where all the boobs, all the explosions are.
there you go.
That's really the most redeeming qualities of this movie.
And it's they even got the hair color right on all the mannequins. We're looking at you, Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. I thought the design of Frankenhooker was actually really cool. I mean, I like the purple everything.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good against the rest of the movie. And yeah, I mean, like it's just so out there. It's
Yeah.
just a weird concept. I mean, not a new concept, obviously, but a weird concept and super creative. I liked it.
How many stars we giving it?
Oh, well, while I care to rewatch this, I'll like to rewatch this. It's gonna be 2.5 for me. Uh, there's too many things that are against it at this point. And honestly, if I didn't like this movie, like if I didn't have any fun with this movie, this would have been like a slog to get through. Um, but I'm okay with it. Like 2.5 stars, positive review. Let's say you.
I'm gonna be right there with you. Those 2.5 stars.
Oh,
It's
great.
just kind of that, right in the middle. It's one that is fun. I might have needed, like a couple of drinks. Might have loosened me up
Yeah,
to
sure.
make it a little bit more enjoyable. And yeah, it was entertaining. You had those funny moments, but I was still just disappointed by how funny it could have been.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll look at a movie and just be like, it's so good or it's so bad, it's good. And this could definitely be a poster child of a movie like that, where you're just like, man, there's so much against it that I really don't like. but it has a charm about it that you're like, yeah, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
this is a popcorn movie. This is something you can throw on in the background, and people will be like, "What the hell just happened to all those women in that room? Oh, they blew up." You
Yep.
know, like
Have you
it's
not been watching? You haven't been keeping up
yeah,
with this
and
riveting film over here?
come on, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's a fun movie. I think it's definitely worth a watch. Not like a run and go grab it right now type of watch, but definitely something where if you're bored on a Saturday night,
If you got an
uh,
hour and a half to kill.
dude, if that, yeah. I mean, it's a fun movie to put on. So, what about you? Would you recommend this movie to anybody?
I mean, I don't know if I would like recommend it, but people in the horror space, this is definitely a fun one.
Mm.
This is not one that I'm gonna go like tell my parents, like, hey guys, I just saw this great movie.
Yeah.
But
Well, so one thing that I noticed, and it's been because of this movie actually, your ratings, man, they're getting better. I feel like if this would have been one of the first ones we watched, it would have gotten lambasted. It would have been a
I
whole
might have
star.
been a little harsher on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was at least fun. I'm trying to lock in my rating system and really what my scale is on these
Right.
things. And so I think I've come to a good little system, at
Okay.
least for now. So this one is getting that 2.5, which means it's like, hey, watch it or don't don't, don't really care, but you can't blame me either way.
Streaming for free on Shutter. Obviously, you got to pay for Shutter, but
And on Tubi
and on
with
Tubi. So
with
there you go.
ads.
It's worth a watch, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else. I mean, there's movies like this are always kind of weird to judge or review. I'm not judging the movie, but when you put out these reviews for like most horror movies are B movies, it's really hard to judge a movie and just be like, yep, cinematography, yep, acting, yep, dialogue, all that kind of stuff. Because you're like, man, you
You have
miss
to
the
have your
point
own
of a
special
movie like
scale.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll not have any fun if that's how you're gonna go and judge this movie. Do I still have this? Like, I have the way that I do my ratings, and it's still being judged on the same rating as something like Midsummer, which we both gave high scores to, but there's other things that will bring this movie up, whereas couldn't bring up something like Street Trash 87. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
It's like this one just felt like it had a little bit more heart than Street Trash 87.
absolutely.
I actually
Yeah.
cared about the characters in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
You at least knew who they were, or had some
Right.
kind of a rooting interest. And they were just a lot more fun than our Street Trash ruffians.
Yeah. They didn't. I know we're always talking about Street Trash. It's just so weird because they just didn't make any characters that you wanted to root for.
Yeah.
Zero characters in Street Trash that I cared about. But in this movie, I was actually the entirety of this movie, I was waiting for Frankenhooker. I was like, I want to see Frankenhooker. Where's Frankenhooker?
Yep.
So, yeah, there you go. That's it for me. Anything else to add on to these movies?
I think I'm gonna wash my hands of this one, and we can leave it there. Not a whole lot not as much to say on these as some of our other films, but I think this film really speaks for itself.
Well, it's been Horror and the Hater, and we'll catch you later.